Hey folks, Jimmy here in Strange, Vermont. A quick video. I've been showing a lot of images in stones, and that's what I like. And you can definitely see the images. Let's talk about it. This stone is just like this. It's a buffalo. And you can see the face. It's got a mask on it, and the whole stone, the headdress would be the buffalo. Man with a headdress. The headdress is the buffalo. Even has an eye looking at you. And this stone here has a divot in it, a groove. And if you look up at the top, it's got these wavy grooves. This stone would have been hafted onto a stick, held against the heart. Little tiny, I like to call them axe heads, but they probably had different names. Now, take something like this. It just looks like a jumbled piece of rock. Closer look, it's very beautiful. It's a nice stone. It's not something you just find anywhere. It's got the blue and the gold crystals, but it's also shaped just like that other tomahawk. You can see it's got a pointy edge, pointy side and a sharp side. It would have been hafted right here. Can you imagine that thing on? It's not really that heavy. It looks bigger than the weight would be. It'd be easy to carry, I would think. This one also, you can see the groove in it right here. It's got a flat head, pointy back. It would have been hafted onto a stick. See the image in it? This one here. This is a tool, you can see. It has this, looks like you could woodwork with it. Very sharp edge. It's also has its own images. It's always these strange people wearing headdresses in the tools. This stone is very sharp and very hard. This could have been hafted onto a stick also. Looks like a handheld tool, but who knows? Who the heck knows? Who the heck knows? This stone is also has a lot of buffalo imagery, and some strange being. Looks like an eagle or some sort of bird. Maybe a horse. You put it that way, and there's the guy. And they always have an angle, a triangle for the eye. Strange. This one, buffalo. You can see it looks like a buffalo. Now it looks like a rock just pulled out of the ground, but it's also got the thin bottom. You can see where it was all worked. This would have been hafted onto a stick and would have been a weapon. And it's also a buffalo. Big buffalo portrait, which is kind of strange. See how big it is? You can see him, the horns. Looks like a buffalo man. Buffalo and a man morphed together. That's how they do it. That looks like a man, but it looks like a mask on that little buffalo. And that's just a buffalo. That's one of the first ones I found. It has a little inlaid eye in it. Check this one out. It's one of those blue stones. It's very hard. Harder than the white granular quartz you might find. You can see how it's glassy and it makes a sharp edge. And they use these for tools and weapons, these stones, and I guess they traded them up and down the river valley here in Connecticut River Valley. And that's like definitely a giant effigy. There were giants here. We call them giants. They were between 8 and 13 feet tall. They had double rows of molars in their mouth. And I believe this represents the giants. There are other strange creatures here too. Beings, people that weren't like us. And they left their portraits in these stones. I find a few oversized axes and tools. Most of them will fit right in your hand. But there are some that are oparts. They shouldn't be here. Very large axes, and they would have been hafted also and carried by someone with a lot of strength, for sure. There you go, folks. Buffalo everywhere. I used to find mammoth a lot, and I still do, but the buffalo are coming out in the stones. All these blue stones. Whoever created all these blue artifacts, they used buffalo as their power animal, because that's the front of the axe head, and it's a buffalo, and there's a little horn. I wouldn't want to get hit with it. It's small, but on the end of a long stick held in your hand, it would have made a formidable weapon, for sure. But mostly, I guess they'd carry it up against their heart. The buffalo. Jimmy here in strange Vermont with these buffalo crystals. And, well, another strange thing about these is they have a good healing energy. They look strange and wicked and evil, but they're not. They're very good healing energy in these stones. When I first found these effigies and moved here on this sacred mountain, I was a mess, physically and mentally and emotionally, like everyone else is at times in their lives. Straightened everything out. They straighten everything out. energy-wise in your body. There's a link to what I call serpent energy, which is Gaia, Mother Earth energy, that comes out of these sacred sites. It pours out of them like it's a pour from the earth that breathes through the earth. And there's so much healing energy and information here. Creative energy is information. Can you imagine the creative energy these people had to make a stone do this? Blessings all. There is hope in the world. There is healing. There is energy that will heal you from all your distress and dis-ease. I don't know why it's in these stones and why I found it in these stones, but it's a wonderful, beautiful energy. And there is hope in the world. Living testimony. God bless all. I love you all. Blessings.